had a chance to look at that decision by Judge Michel Marceau of the Alberta Court of Queen's Bench, and it's a very damning analysis of what's been going on here. To have a judge come out so clearly and to say that there is an absolute breach of the fundamental rules of natural justice in the process simply reinforces the perception of a lot of Canadians in general, and a lot of Albertans in particular, that the dice have been loaded and there's not a fair hearing. You know, we've always said, for example, on the West-East pipeline, we have to have a full, thorough, credible environmental review. Unfortunately, Stephen Harper's been gutting environmental legislation. Nobody believes him anymore. And you can't get to yes on any of these projects unless there's a social buy-in. You can enforce the rules and change them in such a way that you get the regulatory license even faster. In absence of a social license, they're not going to be built. You have to work with First Nations, for example, to get to the West Coast. They've shown no interest in doing that. They want to shove this down people's throats. So to have a judge come up with that conclusion simply reinforces the worst fears of Canadians, saying the system is not working in terms of the protection of the environment, protection of the public interest, and long term we're leaving that debt on the backs of future generations. I don't know if you saw Stephen Harper up on the shore of Great Slave Lake a couple of weeks ago up in Yellowknife, but you know, he was emoting for the ages about the cost of remediation of something done in another generation. He was right. Maybe that's the way it was done back then. We can be forgiving. We have no such excuse. We've got to start including those costs as we go along and stop shoveling that onto the backs of future generations.
For Premier Redford, though, I mean, she is sort of searching the world saying we deserve a fair hearing on the oil sands. Yet at home, it feels like there aren't fair hearings.
Well, I think that the minister responsible should come back and tell people how it is that that a process is put in place that simply doesn't respect the basic principles of natural justice. People have a right to know that the environment's being protected. Laws are enacted, they have to be enforced and respected, and the government has to be first among them in terms of respecting laws.